Hey everybody, Mark, Dr. Deadwax, day 32 of the Inbox Challenge. No matter how many days you think are in a month, it is definitely month 2. Today's numbers were picked by the random 1369, Chad. Chad picked 4 numbers. We're going to do 4 records. Chad, thanks for picking the numbers. Thanks for playing along. We're going to add a 5th one in because I'm getting some comments and, some of the natives are getting restless, LJ. And so we're going to add something in at the end, if we have time. Today's episode is brought to you by Highlander Brew Company Scottish Ale. This is out of South River, Ontario, and this is a nice Scottish ale that's got some nice malt tones, a little bit of bread tones, maybe a little bit of fruit. Somebody said I am doing beer reviews like Wes. I am not doing beer reviews like Wes. I am just bullshitting my way through this and showing you beer. Wes is the god, okay? He's the beer review god. Do not put me in the same level as Wes. Also, answered an ad today for somebody selling 2,000 records, and I went out and had a dig, and I'll show you those at the end if I have time. Okay, let's get to it. First record is Richard Straus, Till Eulenspiegels, Lustige, Streiche, and Igor Stravinsky's Petrouchka. This is on Highlander, and here's the label. It's hard to get it to show. There we go. This record looks gorgeous. It looks near mint. It's one of the reasons why I kept it. And in actuality, while it appears to be close to near mint, it plays like VG minus. It is so full of noise and clicks and everything. It's like it totally ruins the experience. So I won't be keeping this record. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, I have my own approach to classical music. I know nothing about it, but when I listen to like Straus, for example, when I was listening to this, I closed my eyes and I try to picture what Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck are doing, and I'm listening to the Straus, and I'm just not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. It's not moving me. I don't see my boys doing anything. Now, Stravinsky, he did Firebird Suite, I believe, which is something I'm very familiar with, being a Rush fan, or being a Yes fan, and seeing them several times. And, of course, you get to hear Firebird Suite before every concert, because that's how they warm the crowd up. But I had never heard Petrouchka before, but when I close my eyes, when I'm listening to that, I could totally see what Bugs and Daffy are doing. So I think that was a better piece of music, at least for me, being like a complete classical music Luddite. But I'm just pulling this stuff based on how the vinyl looks, because I don't know anything. I think yesterday I made Tony's head explode. Did I make Blake and Adam's heads explode today? Anyway, honestly, I can't talk about classical music because I don't know anything, and I enjoyed Petrouchka more than I enjoyed the Straus, but I won't be keeping the pressing because it's noisy. Maybe I could glue it. Maybe I could hit it with muriatic acid, a dilute solution, but it's not worth it to me. So that won't be staying. Next is Do They Know It's Christmas? Bob Geldof and Midyear's charity project to raise money for famine relief in Ethiopia. It came out in 1984 around Christmas time. This has everybody on it who had hair in 1984 and could be in a video. These are not the best musicians necessarily from 1984. These are the prettiest people with the most interesting haircuts so that they could do a video and put it on TV and sell lots of records and raise lots of money, which is a good thing. And the money was raised for famine relief in Africa, and they raised a shit ton of money, and you know, it was a good thing. They did good work. They helped a lot of people. Then they had a concert the following year in 1985 in, I think it was Philly and London, and this is an excellent Scottish ale. Phil Collins flew between the two countries and performed in both countries, transcontinental performance in the same day. He'd done a concert in England and France, I think with Brand X in the same day, or maybe with Genesis. I can't remember who it was. So that was kind of, I think it was Brand X. So that was kind of a thing he liked to do, was to be the first guy to do a concert in two countries and then two continents. But it's hard to believe that, like, 1984, so what's that, 28 years ago, we had a plane that could get from England, or from England to New York City in a very short period of time. And we no longer do, but I have a cell phone here that is more powerful, like a billion times more powerful than what we landed people on the moon with, and yet we can't fly a plane quicker anymore. What the hell's going on? So, you know, that's just going to stick around and come on at Christmas maybe if somebody wants to hear it. It is what it is. It's one song. Next is ELO, Electric Light Orchestra Discovery. Whereas one band member called this Disco Very, because they very much did the disco on this. And this is a gatefold, and I am not a fan of ELO. I do not like their music. It has an inner sleeve, but I have an entire collection of ELO. I think I have everything they ever did up until like 1990. I went and I bought some records off a guy. He had some people come and look at his stuff, and they were just ridiculous. And I went and looked at his records, and he had a bunch of Floyd, and he had a bunch of Zeppelin, and he had some other things I wanted. I offered him $5 a piece for him, and I bought like $20 or 20 records off him, 22 records off him for like $100, and he was quite happy with that. And he had a few more days of people coming over, offering ridiculous amounts for what was left, and he called me up and he said, just come take the rest of it. You're the only person that actually came, like, was at all decent with me. So that kind of paid off. Music on this isn't very good. It's kind of disco-y. You gotta like ELO or you don't, and I really don't like Jeff Lynne at all, actually. So I kind of, you know, even the Traveling Wilbury stuff is a little Don't Bring Me Down was the big hit on this, and there were other hits. Confusion was a big hit. Diary of Horace Wimp was a hit in the UK. So now Wikipedia says that this gentleman on the back cover is none other than Robbie Barone, Ray's brother, on Everybody Loves Raymond. So I don't know if somebody's gotten on to Wikipedia and just done a fuck around. I mean, we all love to go on there and make up bullshit facts and add them to the thing until somebody comes along and removes them, don't we? But supposedly that's Brad Garrett when he was very young with one of his first modeling gigs. It's on the ELO page for this record, and it's on Brad Garrett's page as well. So we'll see in a month's time if that's still there, if that's been edited out as complete bullshit. Now a little bit of, and I can't recommend that record. It's just disco-y and syrupy and all that kind of recycled canned Beatles crap. And next up is VC Synchronicity. I'm watching Jeff Glowing Double O Cabbage's video earlier tonight while I'm cleaning records, and in the stack of records to clean for tonight that I haven't gotten to yet is Phil Nimmons, Nimmons in 9+6, the Atlantic Suite, and Jeff's talking about it. So it's weird. This is, I think, the second time this has happened in 32 days that there's been something in my pile that somebody has talked about. And this is on Sackville, and Jeff talked about it a little. He said that he liked it, and I really like this record. It's a big band. It's a small big band. I played in a stage band, so I kind of like this kind of music. The suite is actually an interesting composition. I would have really enjoyed playing something like that when I was doing that kind of music. The music is at times traditional big band, at times like stage band, at times it's contemporary jazz, almost slightly new agey ECM-y, you know, that kind of contemporary feel, and at times it's got a bit of like a funky fusion to it. So all the suites are different, and they all kind of, it works really well. And then there's one other song added onto the end of side 2. So Phil Nimmons, big guy in Canada, composer, worked for the CBC as a musician for like 40 years off and on. This one, I talked about the Junos before and how another Sackville record had won a Juno. This Sackville record won the first ever Juno, so that's kind of an interesting. Sackville won a hell of a lot of Junos. And finally, in the Deadwax's is Master Disc RL, so this record was mastered by Robert Ludwig. Deadwax's both sides, Master Disc RL, so you know that's another plus. It sounds great too. I don't know if that kind of jazz would appeal to everybody, but it would be an excellent record if people were over and you wanted to put some music on while a party was going on. It was just in the background. It's not, I wouldn't say it's pushing anything, but it's definitely interesting. Now, I've been getting comments from somebody, LJ, my last video where I showed a Rush record, and he said, now, turn up a Moon pressing of the debut and I'll be impressed. Really? I have to impress you with the Moon pressing of the debut? And while I knew this was in the inbox because I bought this, well anyway, while I was digging, I found a perfect copy of this in the inbox. Rush, Farewell to Kings. This is the record I showed yesterday that was just completely trashed to shit that I got from this junk shop at the end of my block. And this is just a perfect, clean, gorgeous copy. So Trav, I'll send you that one because you said you didn't have it. I'll throw that one in with you when I send you some sleeves. I'll get to this. I'll put this back in the inbox and I'll clean it up and I'll get to it and I'll talk about it when I get to it. But let's talk about the Rush record. So this is Rush self-titled. This is on Moon. One of the ways you can tell that this is on Moon is this is orange and it's not pink. It's pink on all the releases. This is chipped to shit. This is stained. There's Moon on the background, on the back. Moon Records, made in Canada, SRO. And this is on the Moon label. So now I got this from the same junk shop that I got the other stuff from, and that's why I knew where I would find it. This is just, you know, one of the reasons why I bought 20 records, including the 2 monstrosities that I showed yesterday, was because this was in the store. And I didn't want to buy just one thing because, you know, I was an antique dealer for years, and I know what these guys are like who have junk shops. If you come in and you buy just one thing, they sometimes won't sell it to you because they'll be like, what the hell's that? What do I not know? So I bought like 20 pieces of junk, and this was one of the pieces of junk that I bought. So this is Rush, first pressing on Moon. There you can see the Deadwax's MN-100A. And I don't know if this is going to show, but this record is absolutely beat to shit. This is somewhere between fair and poor. Fair minus, poor plus. Poor, well, hold on, let's sell it on eBay. Poor plus 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 plus, because that 5th plus is markedly different than one with 4 pluses. Anyway, this is my copy of Moon, first pressing by Rush. This is not a gatefold, but the cover's completely split to shit. but it does have the tabs on both sides, so it just needs a re-glue. However, the paper cover is a wraparound over the top, so this will be split when it is re-glued. It's not a it's, you know, it was a wraparound piece of paper. It's not two separate printed entities. So they're, even when it's glued back together, there will be a tethered edge like that. Now, this has got writing on it. It's got the owner's name up here. It's got writing in the rush. It's got a chip over here. It's stained to shit. The record is poor. I have seen records, this record in this condition, sell on eBay for 135 to 150 bucks. So, you know, it is nothing more than a placekeeper in the collection. It's a uncommon record. It's not that rare. I mean, shit, these things show up every week on eBay. So they're not, you know, there were like 3,500 or something of them made, but they come up all the time. It's not like they vanished into thin air or were all burnt when they burnt disco records in Cincinnati. But anyway, LJ, he said that I had to come up with this, so I did. Okay, am I off the hook now? I'm just grinding you, brother. But I thought I'd throw that out. So it came from the same place. I'll never play it. I don't even think I would play that if I swapped the cartridge out and just put a fucking grinder on the arm. So I went 16 minutes. Do you want to see these records, or do you want me to stop talking? Just go away if you don't want to see these records. I went. I got out on Kijiji 2,000 records for sale. Kijijis are Craigslist. So I write the guy, and he says one guy's coming before you, but you can come when he's done. So he calls me and he says he's gone, and I just ask him, like, was that guy from the same place I'm from? He says, no, this guy's from this other place. And I said, oh, was it so-and-so? And he says, no, it was so-and-so. And I'm like, oh god, that guy's a dealer. He took 100 records. So I'm like, so he took 100 records of the 2,000. So all the Zeppelin, all the Pink Floyd, all the good shit's gone. But there's lots of shit there that I'll probably still want. So I drive 40 minutes down the highway to go look at them. I get there, and I walk downstairs in the basement to look at this stuff, and the guy says, you know, I thought I had 2,000 records. He says, but then I remembered I sold like 1,400 of them at a garage sale this summer. So there were 600 records, and then the guy took 100. So he took basically, you know, probably anything that was half decent that was left. But I managed to find 16 records. Sly Stone, Judas Priest, Smiths, Mission, another Gary Newman again, Talking Heads, Susie and the Banshees. Yeah, the entire Susie and the Banshees catalog that was all water damage except for that one. Cure, Head in the Door, U2 Boy, U2, the U-Fire. ZZ's first album, late pressing, but I know some people who will want that. This one is the one I was most interested to find. This was Thunder Mugs to Daw. I've shown Thunder Mug Strikes before. This is their next one, and this is on Axe, and it's in nice condition, so that was a good one. For Rob Paniques, we were talking about this in the comments. Twang Bar King, Adrian Belew. This has, Rob really enjoys the version of I'm Down that Adrian Belew sings on this record. Spirit, Feedback, New Order, Technique. He had a collection of all the new wave stuff, was some collection of he bought off somebody else that he'd never actually played, and the new wave stuff that wasn't water damaged is actually in pretty nice condition. And Tres Hombres, this is another later pressing, but again, I know people who want some ZZ Tops, so that was 15 bucks for 16 records. So he had a tin machine, he wanted to keep it, it had sentimental value. I said, sure, I don't care. So that's everything. Well, just under 20 minutes. Sorry for teasing you, LJ. The random 1369 Chad, thanks for picking the numbers. Thanks for playing along. Thanks everybody for watching, commenting, subscribing, putting up with me. Have a great day, everybody. Keep the record spinning.